My name is Gellis. I'm 15 years old and I grew up in Allentown, Pennsylvania. My father is a chef that works for DeSales University and my mom is currently unemployed. When my parents split up, I was 5 and I started to live with my mom. After that, my dad wasn't in my life very much and my mom was unemployed at the time also. For a big amount of my life, I lived with my mom, who lived with my grandparents until my grandfather had kicked her out. After that, my mom hadn't had a stable home for at least the next 6 years. My mother, my sister, and I had been living in motels, very nasty apartments to trailers, and even was sleeping in the back of her car for some time. Eventually, my father felt bad and took me in to live with them. That way I wasn't starving and my mom had one less mouth to feed. I ended up living with my dad for the next 5 years until present day. For the first 3 years, we lived in Allentown, but eventually he met a girl with her own child and we moved to Bath. I moved in the summer to the 9th grade, so I had to start all over at the beginning of high school. I was a little uncomfortable at first, but eventually I got used to it. I used to go to Robb Middle School where I met some friends that I know will be with me all of my life. There's one person that is not so much a friend, but more like a brother to me. Me and him met in 3rd grade and ended up in the same class together for the next 5 years. To this day, we still hang out almost every weekend. Him and I have gotten into making music. This summer, we both have bought a cheap microphone, a stand, a laptop, and a studio phone, and we have a little studio set up at his house. I usually make the beats, and he usually writes rhymes for them, but sometimes we'll switch roles. I'm not a very talented lyricist, which is why I stick to the beats. We do have intentions of eventually going somewhere with this, but we are fully aware that this is the real world, and we each have our own other interests. Some of his are basketball, work, and games. Me, on the other hand, I'm almost the opposite. My interests consist of football, friends, and shoes. I played football in the 7th grade where we went to win the championship game, which happened to be one of the happiest moments in my life. I also played for like half of 8th grade, but I ended up getting injured because I put my head down while making a tackle and didn't come back for the rest of the season. So that ended my football aspirations. I ended up not playing for the first 2 years of high school, but I plan to finish the last 2 seasons with the team. Moving on, I also am very into shoes. My father has about 95 pairs of Jordans in his closet from the time he was about 20. He actually told me that when he is too old for collecting Jordans, he plans to keep his collection and then give it to me so I can keep the tradition going, kinda. I'm 15 right now, my birthday is in June. As soon as that comes, my dad said he already got me a job where he works, so I'll be able to add shoes to the collection starting next year. I also plan on getting a car almost immediately, so after I get a job, I plan on collecting my money and moving out by the time I'm 18 if I don't go to college. I would like to go to college on another side of the country just to be able to see different places. I've only been to 2 other states besides Pennsylvania, Ohio and New York. So either way, I would like to travel a lot in my life. Also, some other life goals of mine are no matter what I do to be able to say that I am successful. I also want to treat my mother to nice things because she never really had that. Obviously, I would also like to make it as a music producer, but if not, my second goal is mainly to be a chef because my dad and my grandfather were both very successful chefs. And those are some things about my life.